Hello, 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 amazing superhumans. I am so happy that you are here. Welcome to this masterclass. It's called Quantum Living. Just give me a second. I just need to prepare my notes. Okay, ready. So welcome to the Quantum Living Masterclass. We are going to have so much fun today. I don't know if you know me, if you've already been in my space. I'm Mette. I am the happy owner CEO, and that is the Chief Energy Officer of Dare to Rest. So if you haven't seen me before, welcome. If you know me, I'm so happy that you're back. A short story about me. I'm a former overperformer, overworker, overstressed, overgiving person who have reclaimed the ownership of my life. I am no longer just living. I'm consciously creating the life I want every single day. And that's actually what's on our agenda today, because I want you to do the same. So this change in my mindset and personal leadership gave me time back. It released my stress, my mind chatter, my inner devil, the one who was always telling me that nothing was ever good enough. It's given me happiness, freedom, and so much inner peace. I can honestly say that I've never been stronger in my own power, in my own leadership. And this is really just the beginning, and it's the most liberating feeling ever. And I want you to feel that too. So I hope that's why you're here and that you recognize some of these things, because that's really where I want everyone to be. So in my business, I am here to help others become what I call super happy superhumans. As you just heard, I wasn't always the happy, joyful version of myself all the time. I felt superhuman, overperforming everywhere, doing everything for everyone, but it left me feeling depleted. And that's just not my reality anymore. So let me be your symbol that it can change. And today we're going to talk about this innate power we all have within. We will talk about our worth and our feeling of being empowered and living as these courageous, heart-led people, human beings that we all are. And yeah, I have so much to tell you today. I'm also very excited to tell you about the amazing things that are going to happen in Dare to Rest in 2023. So if I just look back at my life, the past 3 years have been super focused on a self-development journey, and super intensely the last year. So 2022 for me has been the most phenomenal year, because of my dedication, my intentionality, and my passion for getting to know myself better, becoming a stronger, better, wiser version of myself. And that was really possible for me to do this really big shift because I invested in myself in a long-term membership. It was actually a 12 months commitment with the most brilliant mentor. And having sort of a set line of programs that I knew I was going to attend over the course of 12 months gave me so much peace. It gave me time to go deep. It gave me time to start knowing truly who I am, knowing that I was there for the long run. And it's so often, that we spend so much time and energy looking for the next thing, the next golden nugget, the next place to go eat, the next course to take, the next book to read. So really there was so much peace and calm around knowing that I was in it for the long haul. And it really, really gave me a chance to commit and to go deep. So having been in a container like that myself also inspired me to build my own. And you guys here on this call are actually the first one to know about it. So super excited, yay! So this new container that I have coming is called the Dare to Rest Revolution. And I couldn't be more excited about this. I'm like, oh, I can hear angels sing. It's a 6-month duration, which will leave you time and space to work on your personal development. It will give you access to 5 upcoming online group programs. And right now, being the very first time I offer this, today there's going to be a very time-sensitive and ridiculously reduced price if you're ready to make a move. So I will tell you more about all of that at the end of this masterclass. But just to let you know, this is the next big thing coming for Dare to Rest. It's the Dare to Rest Revolution. And I really want you to be there. So I'll tell you more about it. And I'm, of course, open for any questions you may have at the end. So again, I just really, really, really want to thank you for being here. Before we start, if it's possible for you, maybe just close your eyes and take a few nice deep breath. So inhaling in through your nose and out through your nose. Do that twice more. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. And still with your eyes closed, maybe just reminding yourself that you chose to be here today. So maybe you even want to remind yourself why you're here. And whatever reason that was, choose that again as we start diving into the material for today. If possible, put any distractions away. Decide that this gets to have your attention now if it's possible for you. So decide to be here. Keep doing these inhales in through your nose and out through your nose. I also want to encourage you to participate during this masterclass if it's possible. When we are in this together, and it's not just me talking, we create a greater energy together. If you know me, you know that I'm a manifesting generator in human design. So I respond to your energy and your input. So let's make this good together. You can comment, you can ask anything. Let me know how the information sits with you, if any questions come up, anything. So use the chat and know that it will keep you engaged as well as me, and that together we raise the bar. So take the last deep breath here. Sigh it out. And today we're going to start the masterclass a little differently than what we normally do, because I'm going to tell you a story, and you decide if you want to keep your eyes closed or open during my storytelling. If you're comfortable just being nice and relaxed, please just stay with your eyes closed. If not, open up your ears. be willing to listen to this little story that I wrote. It has the most super inspirational title. It's called A Story. Yay. So let me tell you this story. It's the story of a faraway place, hidden somewhere in the universe, under the stars, the moons, the Milky Way. In the midst of it all, we find a beautiful planet. All the souls of the universe were intrigued by this astounding blue sphere lighting up in space. It was a very special place, very special indeed. So let's call this place Earth. Earth is a beautiful place. It has rivers, mountains, woods, oceans, crispy fresh air, as magnificent as you can imagine all of that. Deep blue oceans, beautiful green woods, a rich wildlife. This truly is the most extraordinary place for a soul to be. So the universe decided to place an intelligent species there. An intelligent species on Earth that we're going to call humans. So all the souls in the universe just floating around in space were waiting in line to go have a human experience in this wonderful place called Earth. Everything was beautiful. It was bountiful. It was abundant. The souls who all have so much power, wisdom, potential, and art in them are beyond excited to come to Earth and unfold their talents to create even more beauty, even more magnificent through a human experience. So they went there, the souls, to have that experience. And they were so excited, jumping out of the soul world into Earth in blind trust that this was going to be the best thing ever. Believing in their own potential, their worthiness, it all looked beautiful. But what they didn't know, these souls, was that hidden on Earth were a very particular species called Earth Lords. The Earth Lords, they wanted to have everything themselves. They craved power and they resisted change. They wanted the beauty, the control, the abundance, everything on Earth to themselves. So as the souls came to Earth to have a human experience, the Earth Lords who ruled Earth told them that in order to be a good human, you have to be humble, not showing your true gifts and magnitude. Even if you found them, don't share them, at least not the full extent of you, because that would make you egoistic and a bad human. The souls felt weird about this. They knew their heart and their magnitude and their desires. They felt perplexed, hesitant to obey at first. So the Earth Lords showed the souls what would happen to bad humans. And it did not look fun. Nothing like the amazing fun roller coaster ride that the souls thought that they had signed up for coming to Earth. Being so scared, like drenched in fear, the souls decided to abide by the rules of the Earth Lords. It felt like a tight grip, like they had to be lesser versions of themselves, lesser version of what was possible. But they did not want to be bad humans. However, the souls were persistent. They had a mission. They craved the higher sensations of life. They craved meaning, freedom, love, joy. So life after life, the souls kept coming back to Earth, thinking that this time, they would find a way to shine their true light, unfold their talents, and feel alive, free, and loved. But they were held back by old beliefs, from fear, from lack of courage. They knew that this human experience could be extraordinary. The ability to feel, to touch, to taste, to listen, to create, to love. Having a human to unfold all the potential in the soul would make masterpieces. And they felt this longing, a deep, deep longing. Yet somehow with each try, every single time a soul landed on Earth, it didn't happen. The soul's light was dimmed by the overmanning power of the Earth Lords. All of the rules, all of the should have, could have, must nots. The souls were not allowed to fully shine. And somehow over time, the humans on Earth had come to believe that by shining their light, they were bad people. They were selfish. And by claiming one's own worth and true potential, you stole from others. By allowing yourself, you disallowed others. And that is not being a good human. That was what they were told. That was what they were taught. So, not only did the Earth Lords remind the souls of this continuously, the humans were also reminding each other of being a good human, trying to remind each other how to be good humans. They did not want to see the other souls in human form become bad humans. They cared for one another, so they pulled each other down. Sometimes, though, the souls felt special. They felt the potential bigness they had, because sometimes the Earth Lords told them that they were indeed good, that they were special, that they had a talent. But as soon as they were told that they were good and special, the Earth Lords reminded the souls to be humble. Good humans do not brag. They do not take up space. They keep their light hidden. That's a good, humble human. The souls felt their bigness inside, still longing to get it out. It became heavy to carry that feeling, not being allowed to be fully what they could be. As time passes on Earth, these stories live on over and over, some with a little bit of a new angle, but the same theme. To some souls, it ends up feeling like this is the only way to live on Earth. It's what can be expected. So they shut down. They try not to feel it, the loss of their potential, the pain of not being fully expressed. They numb themselves in humaning, forgetting the initial excitement they had and the liveliness that they carry in their soul. It's heavy. But eventually something happens. A soul who had built up courage over many, many, many trips to Earth landed in a new human form, a new meat suit. It decided that this time it would be different, that it would not happen again. This time would be different. This time it wanted to be on Earth, fully expressed, no matter what. It wanted to shine, to follow its dreams, to practice self-love. It wanted an experience that was not shaped by others, but by itself. It was so, so brave to set out on this journey. And I could tell you a long story about the life of this soul, but let's try and keep it short. So I'll give you a recap. This courageous soul slowly but steadily turned its human experience around. It wasn't always easy. It had to choose bravery every day. It had to change paradigms, question all the old ways and all the old beliefs. And a lot of the other souls on Earth didn't agree with it. It sometimes left the soul feeling all alone. But some of the other souls on Earth, they were inspired. Yet others again hated that soul for doing what they themselves were too afraid to do. They didn't know that, but that was the cause of their resentment. It was one step at a time for this brave soul, committing to a life of joy, of light, of love, consciously creating a new experience on Earth, leading itself forward, not waiting for the world to catch up, just going, doing, and being what it wanted to experience. And in the end, the brave soul got everything it dreamt of and more. It didn't look anything what it expected or could have foreseen, but it was amazing nonetheless, because the soul learned that the human experience, the matter of a physical form, is limited if that's the only one that gets to lead. The end. So I'll just grab a sip of water. If you would like to tell me how this story lands with you in the chat, I would love to hear you. Nice. Okay, so moving on. I hope this story landed well with you. And the purpose of telling this story was really to try and set a perspective, and I'm going to try and unfold that a little bit more. So what happened to us humans is that we were born into a known world, a world with a rather fixed set of paradigms, beliefs, and understandings. Growing up, we were impacted to believe that this was the way the world was. We have so many different beliefs, and we have a lot of individual beliefs as well. But just to give you an example, a few examples, like some simple beliefs that you've just learned from your parents, the society, your friends, whatever. It could be like, you have to have kids, you have to get married, you have to buy a house, men don't wear pink, women can't drive, eating fat is unhealthy for you. Could be a numerous amount of things that you were taught and just came to understand from being in your surroundings. You can also say that we have like more fundamental beliefs, like women are less than men. In order to be a good human, you have to put others first. Could be a belief that rich people are mean, poor people are saints. So many different beliefs that we just carry with us without ever questioning them. And all these beliefs, they have shaped the way we see the world. And if those beliefs feel good for you, perfect, leave them the way it is. But the thing is, it's not reality. It's just a possible reality. what we didn't understand growing up was that we were actually allowed to question all these beliefs. Growing up, we were dependent on our parents, on our surroundings to survive. So we naturally had a tendency to fit in to a line in order to not be left out of the herd and die. That's our reptile brain wanting to make sure that we are part of the pack, because if we are not, then we die. And in order to be a part of this pack, we adapt the way the world is viewed. And you can say this way of viewing the world is very much aligned with the Newtonian model of cause and effect. The world of, if this happens, then that happens. Sir Isaac Newton had a physics model that when A happened, B would happen. It was the understanding that if we can precisely determine, calculate, and predict how A will impact B, we know the world. You can say it's a very mechanic, machine-like way of viewing life and the universe in general. And this is really much the way that our society has been shaped, because this model, this structure that Sir Newton discovered was the way we built and understood our world for so many centuries. You probably know this. You're a human being just like me. We are so used to thinking, evaluating, considering, using our logic for everything. Forever using this logic, mind gave us an understanding that life can, of life in general being predetermined. This made humans think that what we do doesn't really matter in the big picture, and free will is maybe not even really existing. And it's very much, you could say, a thing that has minimized human beings to being little more than victims. And for centuries, this was our belief, a belief that we, to some extent, and for some to a very big extent, are still carrying in our genes today, thanks to the cellular knowledge that we have from our ancestors. You might think that this is a little bit overrated, and you're like, where's she going with all of this? Stay with me. But just consider some of the beliefs that victimizes us on a daily basis. So you might have the belief that we have to work hard to thrive financially. And here the notion of something being hard subconsciously codes us to pity ourselves a little bit. Another belief could be that it's harder for women to break through. And though historically that has been the truth, it's not really anymore. Today, it's more like an excuse not to act. And again, it's a way of actually victimizing ourselves. You might have some other examples of how you sometimes end up in a victim role in your life. If you do, please share them in the chat. But I'm going to move on. So this Newtonian model of if A happened, B happens, it was built on the assumption that everything is solid, including energy. And luckily, we had someone in our world history who questioned that belief and that way of viewing the world. One that has taught us to appreciate free will, energy, and the impact of human interactions. It's a new way of thinking, one that taught us that that this belief, this Newtonian model, was not the truth, it was a truth. And that special someone who questioned this original belief was Mr. Albert Einstein, and his famous sentence, you may have heard it, E equals mc squared. And his discovery started a new field of physics known as quantum physics. And this discovery changed our world and still has so much change to do. So this is not a masterclass in science nor history. So to make it a little short, I'll give you like a brief outcome of this discovery. Quantum physics taught us that everything is not matter, and that we can and that we can't predict everything. So remember, the Newtonian model was, if this happens, this happens. And now we actually have someone who says, if this happens, we don't know what's going to happen. The idea around this is that the same event will impact two people differently. And the reason for that is the energy. So if I and a friend of mine experience an accident, a car accident, the way I experience it and the way my friend will experience it will be different. Though we're actually seeing the same thing, I might just say, wow, shit, that's bad. Let's go see if we can help. And my friend might end up with PTSD. You can say that all matter is more nothing than something being. Yeah, so nothing would be energy and something would be matter. So I'm just going to repeat that. You can say that all matter is more nothing, being energy, than something, being matter. Quantum physics also taught us that the thing we are observing affects the behavior of energy and matter on what is being observed. So on a subatomic level, energy responds to your mindful attention. And that really gives us our power back. This means that we are no longer just impacted by our surroundings, as this Newtonian model suggested. We as human beings also have an impact. And where we choose to send our attention, that's where and what we create. So rather than being a response to our surroundings, we can choose to view the world as we want. We can choose quantum living. So imagine how your life would change if you learned to direct your attention to all the infinite waves of possibility that could potentially happen, rather than the predictable ones. So could you get better at observing the life you want, knowing that this actually helps create the life that you want? See, the thing is that everything is energy. And we just heard a few minutes ago that everything is more nothing than something. So everything is more energy than has a physical substance. Everything is energy. I am, you are, everything is. Everything can be broken into subatomic particles, and they are all more energy than matter. So our energetic blueprint is what determines how we see, what we attract, and how we shape the world. Even our consciousness, our mind, affects energy, because our consciousness is also energy, and energy has consciousness. This means that we are powerful enough to influence matter, because at the most elementary level, we as human beings are energy with a consciousness. This was very quantum physics-y. I hope you're still with me. I'll try to make this more tangible, but I really needed to take you through this opening of your mind, knowing that everything is energy, everything can be impacted, and we are not limited by previous beliefs, by previous history, by anything. It's a matter of what we choose to believe and what we choose to recommit to. Okay, so the more tangible version of this talk is your thoughts, your feelings, and your intentions affect all aspects of your life. It creates an electromagnetic field around you. If you, for instance, wake up in the morning thinking, today will be a bad day, you will have a bad day, because you've already coded your mind to attract and look for all the bad things, because you already feel bad. So traffic is slow, you might end up in a jam, some idiot drove his car right out in front of you, the weather is bad, it's rainy, it's cold, it's windy, the food in the canteen is crappy, your partner was super annoying, leaving the socks on the floor, or forgot to buy milk, there's a huge line at the supermarket. It's a bad day because you decided it when you woke up, and then your mind started looking for confirmation that you were going to have a bad day. It didn't see all the good things, just looked for all the bad things. A super important thing to say here is that we attract both on a conscious and a subconscious level, and with our feelings. Your consciousness lives in the mind, and your subconsciousness and the feelings live in your body. You can say that thoughts are the language of the brain, and feelings are the language of the body. Before we move on, maybe let's just make one thing clear. That is, why do we want to choose quantum living? And we want to choose that because we want to be empowered versions of ourselves. We want to release the shackles of our previous beliefs, all the things that are holding us back on a conscious, subconscious level. We want to do quantum living to attract more of what we desire by recoding our own beliefs and by changing our mindset. We also want to own the fact that we are co-creators of our own life, not waiting for things to happen, but making them happen. And we really want to find alignment and attunement to who it is that we really are, because we want to feel better, we want to live better, we want to think better, we want to laugh more, smile more, have more experience, and also we actually want to learn how to be with the difficult things in a better way. So quantum living is really taking full responsibility for all aspects of your life. Knowing that it's not always just about what you do, but who you are being as you do it. Remember, again, you're creating this electromagnetic field around you with your conscious, subconscious, and your feelings. So the way you're feeling, the way your mind is coded, determines how you see you and perceive life. Managing your mind and clearing up your beliefs, your traumas, they are all part of the game in choosing and being able to have like a conscious quantum living where you're consciously creating the life and the reality that you want. Because you know that everything you are, think, and feel impacts your life. The quantum field, which is all around us, everywhere in us, it doesn't respond to what we want. So like saying, I want to have $1 million tomorrow. That's not going to give you $1 million tomorrow. We have to become a person who on an energetic level can receive this. So the quantum field doesn't respond to what we want, but who we're being. And that is exactly, you can say, why we have to prioritize working with and on ourselves. If we do not give ourselves time to do this inner work, to do the recoding, to go through personal development and raise our bar in self-leadership, then we're going to be forever stuck in this cause and effect, the never-ending struggle. We need to do things differently in order to create a new reality. You may have heard this phrase, because the brilliant Mr. Einstein, well, he just had a lot of gold. He once said that doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a new result, is the definition of insanity. What I usually say is that if you do and be, sorry, I'm just going to start over. I say, if you do and be what you've always done and been, then you get what you always got. So we need to change both our doing and our being in order to create a new world. We need to start leading ourselves to a place where we think, feel, and act in new ways. So we have to be different to create a new magnetic field around us that will attract new things, because we start to see the world differently. It's a lot of information, and it might be like blowing your mind. Don't worry, there's going to be like a lifetime access to this. You may want to hear it again. But I do hope that it is crystal clear for you by now that doing the inner work is the key to getting what we desire, to attract the life that we really, really want. So we have to change our energy, our thoughts, and our emotions. That is how we get to the stage of quantum living. And it's also knowing and reminding ourselves that we have all options to lead ourselves there. Why wouldn't we? We just learned that we can do anything. The way we view the world is our own reality, and we can create that by choosing our thoughts, by recoding our subconsciousness, and by becoming emotional intelligent so that we can handle these different feelings that come up in our human experience. So quantum living is also continually reinventing ourselves to align with the future that we desire. And the more coherent we can be in aligning our thoughts, our feelings, the stronger this magnetic field around us will be, and the stronger we broadcast, the more of a flow we're going to feel. So what usually happens when we start this work is that the mind very much controls the way. So most often we try to do the personal development work only with our minds because we were coded to do that. But for instance, let's say that that you're super poor, and then if you say, "I am rich," you can say it in your mind, but your body will feel like, "No, no, I'm not. It's not true. I'm not rich." And then you'll be feeling like, "Now I'm a liar. Now I'm a bad person." And then all these things just start to happen. So we have to work both on our conscious thoughts and the recoding of our subconscious so that they are aligned. And that really is the work. So when you hear people talk about the work, that is it. That is the work, aligning thoughts, feelings, and actions. Quantum living is you causing the effect, not you being affected, as what we were taught. I want to give you an example again here. So for instance, I grew up with a mom who despises this time of year, not the Christmas, but all the darkness, the rain, everything. And I just remember her saying so many times, "Oh, this season makes me feel so bad. Everything is dark. I'm getting depressed." And it's like, yes, you can't control the weather, but you can control your mind. You can say, "Wow, it's dark outside, but I'm going to choose to turn on more lights. I'm going to spend time in meditation, imagining that I am on a beach with sunshine and feeling the warmth of the sun on my skin, rather than just like saying, "Oh, yes, life is hard." See, that's the victim thing I talked about initially, and this victim role it's a little tricky, and most people don't like it when I call them out for being victims, and I do that myself as well. So we all do that, but it really is a matter of where do we let ourselves be affected by what happened, rather than choosing the response we want. Because when we just react to what happened, that is caused by the way we were coded, by our previous beliefs. But when we choose to respond, that's where we go in consciously and say, "Okay, it's dark outside. It's rainy. I haven't seen the sun in 2 months. I don't know." But it's giving me a choice to say, how do I want to respond to this? I can't change the weather. Let's just face that, no matter what I do with my magnetic field. But I can choose to not let it impact me. So if there's one thing we always have as human beings, it's choice. So let's start using it. As I said, quantum living is you causing the effect, not being affected. It's owning the magnitude that you have within, this strong creational force, just like the brave soul I told you about in the story. You can be that person. You can be that soul because you do have it in you. And that really is quantum living. So I want you to leave here feeling empowered, feeling this creational force that you decide your reality, your ability to do whatever you want, resting in your dreams, your desires, resting in who you are and be as you do it. So what happens from here is, as you very well know, is fully up to you. You can go be it, you can change it or not. The choice is yours. The choice is always yours. So, if you feel complete by now, I want to thank you so much for coming. I promise I will be sending this masterclass out. I know it's a lot, it's packed, it's dense, so you can re-listen. If you want to stick around and hear about all the exciting things I have coming for 2023, please stay. So whatever you feel inclined to do, if you're done, thank you so much for being here. And if you decide to stay, I'm super excited to share with you what is coming up in Dare to Rest. So what I have learned over the past couple of years, and also very much in my role as a change manager, is that commitment and coherence is key. We want to place ourselves in an environment that helps support our growth, who we are and what we want to be. The more we surround ourselves and the more we let ourselves be inspired by people who have done what we want to do or ignite us in some way, the easier it is to calibrate to them. And I decided, as I told you initially, that I want to be able to provide that and actually in a new way. So I have developed this 6-month container called the Dare to Rest Revolution. It's a 6-month commitment to your personal growth, to raising the bar for your self-leadership. It's an option to create new neurological pathways. We're going to work on changing some of all those beliefs that I just told you about in this masterclass. We're going to build your personal power. We're going to expand your emotional intelligence. And in general, just start paving the way for more of what you desire. It's going to be as I said, it's going to be 6 months. There are going to be five different programs over the course of the 6 months. All programs will be in English. You will also get access to my online self-care space. You may know about this already. If not, I'll just briefly tell you what it is. It's an online library. You can say like an online Netflix, but for self-care. There's yoga, there's meditations, there's visualization, breath work. It's the perfect place for you to go and support yourself in your self-care and your self-nurturing. Because when we are working with our personal growth, it impacts our nervous system. And all the practices in the self-care space actually helps you ground and reconnect and to stabilize your nervous system. And we want that. So you get 5 programs, you get 6-month access to my online self-care space. And I just want to remind you, you can access all the videos as many times whenever you want. They're just readily available to you. And also there's going to be monthly hot seat group coaching. It might just be we do it 4 times, but there are going to be monthly hot seat group coaching. And what that is, if you haven't tried it before, is that all the people who participate in the Dare to Rest Revolution, We're going to meet up 4, 5, 6 times on a group online call during those 6 months. And then we're actually I'm going to coach you individually, but with all the other participants being there, because we actually learn so much from hearing each other's stories. Yeah, and 5 programs that will take you through starting to build the foundation and planning for the life that you want. It's also going to be about learning how to embrace your body, building self-love. We're going to expand your happiness. We're going to change your whole mindset around what happiness is. We are going to go through a program that will help you reclaim your true feminine power, like letting your inner goddess unfold. And we're going to do a program on creating balance between the masculine and the feminine energies, which is also super, super good if you are in a relationship. So many awesome things coming. And as I promised you initially, there's going to be like a super, super, super good bargain. The next 24 hours, you get this 6-month container and everything I just told you for $9,999. It's 5 programs, 6 months of access to the self-care space, and 4 to 6 group coachings. It's ridiculously priced. For 24 hours, you can do 2 payments, 2 installments. One would have to be paid in December, one in January. If that's what you want, please just send me an email or a DM on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. It's a great deal. The price will be increasing in 24 hours to $12,222. And then I'm probably going to raise the price again on December 31st. I'm not really sure about that, but I just really want to be totally transparent. So this is by far the cheapest way of being in my world for 6 months. It's probably never going to be this price again. So if you're up for it, you have 24 hours to let me know. The first payment doesn't have to be in 24 hours. I just need your commitment. I need you to know. I need you to tell me that you're in, and then we'll figure everything out. So let it land. Let me know. And I would just love, love, love to see who you can be 6 months from now. Because I promise you that these long-term commitments, they will change you. They will. So that being said, we're done. Let me just check if there are any questions in the chat. You just have a few more seconds to let me know if there are any questions. If not, I am going to leave it at that. It seems nice and quiet. Everything is good. I hope I didn't information overload you. Breathe. It's all good. Thank you so much for being here. And let me know if you have any questions whatsoever.